Many thanks for talking to us, Olivier. And it was a bit of a surprise when you turned up here last month. Tell us what the thinking was behind it.
Yeah, I think it was a surprise to me too. What happened is I've been riding since 2002 in Hong Kong, on and off. So I stay, I think, around 15 years. And I thought when my contract finished in Hong Kong that I thought that I may have enough. So I want to have a break, you know. And I was thinking maybe to retire, but I still want to give me a bit of time to think about it. And then after 2-3 months, I miss horses, I miss riding. It's difficult when, I've been doing that since I'm 14, and there is some good day, there is some bad day, but at the end of the day, it is just like horses. It always has been a passion, and to take a break, a definitive break, was too hard to do now. So then I talked to Claude Piccioni and I asked him if he thought I could come to Dubai, but he told me that it will be hard to come, and especially when the season starts, because every stable have their all the jockeys confirm, and but I said why not? So I come here and I'm happy.
And you must be pretty happy with how it started. I mean, I think you've still got a strike rate of 31% or something.
Yeah, I've been lucky to sit on the right horse at the right time. It's the same everywhere, you know. You need there is a big part of luck in every start. So I've been very blessed to have the chance to ride 3 winners already.
Been a really good start. And why the UAE? Because you could have gone probably anywhere. You could have gone to Singapore, you could have gone to France. Was it just because Claude said it was a good idea?
Yeah, no, I always like to, first I like the heat. You know, I've been riding a long time in Hong Kong. It's difficult to get back to the cold place. And I like Dubai, it's fun. I've been lucky to win some races. I have reached Tapestry, run very well before in Dubai. So the way they treat the horses is, I mean, it's fabulous, you know. So when you have the chance to work, like in the morning, I go to Zabil stable and see all the installation and everything in the stable. I mean, it's amazing because in Hong Kong there is no space. So it's a bit like a paradise for the horses here. So I thought, yeah, it's the right place to go. You know, I think I'm at nearly at the end of my career, the part, you know. So 15 years in Hong Kong, it's tough, you know. It's a good place, but for the mind, you know, they ask, it's a lot. You give a lot to Hong Kong. So I thought now it's time to enjoy my job as much as I can. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to ride. I'm happy to meet different jockeys. I'm happy to ride some Arab horses, you know. So it's different stuff, but. Experience in life is what I like, so it's good to be around some other people, some other technique of riding and different track. So no, it's nice. I enjoy it.
It was a good decision then, because you're quite young to retire, really. If you think of some of the senior jockeys out there in America, they're going on to their mid-50s. You could keep going for another 10 years, couldn't you?
Yes, but it's difficult to always keep the weight low, and when you turn 40, the body starts to change a little bit. It's more hard to lose weight, and so I don't know if I will pass 50. At the moment, I just see what happens and see where the wind blows, and we'll see. But I don't. It's going to be hard for me, I think, to or maybe just ride more heavy. And I think 50 is a good number. So we'll see what happens.
And looking back at your time in Hong Kong, 571 winners there. I think you're the 9th most successful jockey in Hong Kong history. I mean, that's must be some wonderful memories from your time.
Oh yeah, I've been again. It's funny because I started at 14. I worked for Cricket Head, and I was an apprentice. And at 18, I've been riding for as a first rider for her. And then at 20, I was first rider for the Vertemer brother. So I ride and I stay with cricket until my 30s. But at that time, in the winter time, there was no races. So that's where I started to travel, and I've been to Penang, first in Malaysia. That was my first trip outside France. And then from Malaysia, Singapore contacted me. Then I go to Singapore for the winter. And I used to ride for a trainer called Michael Kent was a very good Australian trainer. He gave me a lot of support, and I win a Group 1 for him. And then after that, I was doing quite good during this winter time. So Hong Kong contacted me and asked me if I was able to come to ride 3 months in Hong Kong. So I said, yeah, I will come the following year for the winter time. And then I arrived in Hong Kong, and I win like 26 races in 3 months. It was like crazy. I just ride for one trainer, and his horse dropped so much in rating. Then when I arrived, they just keep on winning. So the Chinese people, they really believe in luck, you know. So I come here, I get lucky, and then everything goes very fast in Hong Kong. When you are very hot, then you get a lot of support. Then straight away, I've been lucky to jump on the right horse. And then I have a good career in Hong Kong. It was amazing to have the chance to ride for so long in this place, because it's fantastic. It's very tough, but it's a place that you live. You learn a lot, because you always compete around the top rider from all around the world. They have some of the best riders from every country. So it's good. I like to study, to learn from other people, see the difference. Australian rider is different from French rider, you know. So it was yeah, really good moment.
And you rode some of the greats of Hong Kong racing. I mean, guess Good Barber, I think you rode 5 Group 1
yeah, it was fantastic. I win 5 Group 1 with him. I win nine races, I think, for him, seven group races. He was, I mean, he's the best miler I ever ride in my life. And yeah, it's just some moment that's very hard to explain. When you win on the International Day in Hong Kong, there's like 120,000 people who support you. So, you know, it's a lot of pressure. But when you can deliver, and when you're able to win those kind of races, it's just magic. You know.
And you also sprang a bit of a surprise, I think, when the Duke won, which nobody expected, that back in 2006.
Yeah, that's my first Group 1, and I was happy because it's from my friend Cass. You know, he was been a very good friend and support. So I was able to win my first Group 1 for him. It was his first Group 1 too. So he was a whole horse. He always run places in these races, you know, the previous year. And we was able to have, it's always more easy when you're on the 20 to 1 shot than when you're on the favorite. So we have the benefit of a perfect run, and then we start at the right time, and the favorite just come and die on us, but it was too late. So it was, yeah, it was fantastic.
Is that the highlight, if you could pick out one moment from your time in Hong Kong?
Of course, I have the chance to win with Good Baba, and I would say Good Baba was the best horse ever in Hong Kong. But my highlight, I mean, my best memory will be when I won in America with Rich Tapestry, because I mean, it's the first time that a Hong Kong horse raced in America, and to beat the American horses on the dirt, I mean, in America was something very special. And when you win the local races, it's good, but when you start to travel with the, you know, like the horses from Hong Kong, and you win outside, make the success even is different, you know. It's always a different challenge. So it was a very good memory.
Do you think anyone will do that again? Because it's incredibly difficult for
I don't think so. You know, it was just like a talk. You know, these horses. Rich Tapestry been very good with us, for Michael, the trainer, and myself, but he never been a champion. On the grass, he was just a local Group 2 horses, you know. But when we put him on the dirt, he was just one class better, and he had this quality. He was able to travel like he'd been there all the time. You know, he was a very good traveler. So keep his energy very well. So we come to Dubai. We was able to win the preparation race. Then we ran second, beat by another Hong Kong horse. So, and then after that, we have not too many options in Hong Kong, because there was not group races over the dirt in Hong Kong. So we decided to try our luck. It was like really a bet when we take to the owner and we say, oh, we're going to go in America with the horse. They look at us like, ah, you're crazy. And then to be able to be there and one was fantastic.
Yeah, I remember it really well. And you mentioned Hong Kong being quite a tough environment. Is that sort of in your mind because it's quite a small racing?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure from, you have to understand that there is so much gambling involved in Hong Kong. and so much competition, you know, between the trainer, between the jockey, that you get inside a system, you know, and we all, it's complicated to explain, but it's so small, you know, it's such a tiny place, Hong Kong, so when you have a good time, you know, everything is good, but when you start to have a bad time, people who used to call you every day to give you some ride, it doesn't even pick up your phone anymore, you know, so it's just up and down, and so you need to be very strong in the head to don't let all this emotional stuff, you know, affect your riding, because it's difficult, and we can see by the past some jockeys, you know, they do well and then they have quiet moment, and then, so it's a bit complicated, but it's a very good place to, I think when you leave Hong Kong, you will improve, you know, when you're in Hong Kong as a jockey, but not only as a jockey, also as a person, you really improve, because there is no place for failure, you know. If you're not strong enough, you can't stay in Hong Kong.
Is there anywhere else that you haven't ridden that you quite fancy riding before you retire?
No, I mean, of course, Japan. I only ride one time in Japan. I think Japan is a great place for racing. The way they, you know, they're really passionate. You know, Hong Kong, they love horses, but they gambling passionate. You know, they like gamble, and I think Japan is a bit more like English style. You know, they have this in the roots. You know, English people, they love racing. It's something they have in the roots. In France, it's not really like that. You know, in England, the races are very famous and respect, and in France, it's not that popular. They doesn't have this in the blood, you know. And I think Japan is like that. You know, they love horses. I mean, for Japan Cup, there's 150,000 people. They sleep the night before to get a good spot in the track. So yeah, Japan would be one of the dream, but it's complicated.
Yeah, it is difficult. And when you do retire, what do you think you're going to do? Because you don't seem the sort of person that's just going to want to sit around.
No, that's a big problem. That's why I'm happy to ride again, so I don't have to think about it, because it was just a nightmare to really. It's not that easy, you know. Again, I mean, I stopped school. I was just a kid, and I've been blessed enough to straight away ride horses at 14, and until now, the only thing I know is ride horses. So it's difficult to, when suddenly stop, you don't ride anymore. I try to think about, you know, what different option I have, but I can't find really one. So actually, I'm very happy to ride again a little bit. So I may have a bit more time to think about it. But training is, I will enjoy training, but it's complicated, you know. In Europe, it's difficult, and in Hong Kong, it's really, really difficult, because you need to prove yourself in your own place before. So I don't really know. The time will tell me, but for sure I will have to do something, because otherwise I will be boring very easy.